3.6 is multiplying matrices. Okay. Okay, multiplying matrices. Now, here's the deal. If I have a 2 by 2 matrix, okay, 2 by 2, and I'm multiplying it, okay, when you add a 2 by 2 matrix, you can only add it to a 2 by 2 matrix, okay? Yeah. When you're multiplying, you're looking at the middle boxes. So if I have something that says a 4 by 3, and I have a 3 by 2, I can multiply those together. Here's why. If the middle is the same, I can multiply them together. When you are multiplying a matrix, if the middles are the same, when you multiply it, you are going to get what the outsides say. So if I multiply a 4 by 3 by a 3 by 2, I'm going to get a 4 by 2 for my answer. Okay? So the middles have to match, the outsides become the new dimensions. So if I have a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 2, what size am I going to end up getting?
2 by 2. 2 by 2.
Okay, I'm going to get a 2 by 2. Okay.
So just put like a multiplication, like the dot in between the two of them to show that you're multiplying. Kind of.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Or they're just going to put the brackets like this back to back.
Oh, yeah.
And then that means multiplication. Okay. What happens if I have... Can I multiply those together?
No.
Why not?
No.
Okay, so these are not possible to do. I cannot do a 3 by 2 and a 3 by 2. Okay, I could add those together. I cannot multiply them together.
So it's kind of switched around.
Okay.
Wait.
So remember, when you're adding, they have to be the exact same dimensions. Yeah. But when you're multiplying, the middles have to match, and the outsides become your new dimensions.
What's the rule with dividing? Is it the same thing for multiplication?
What?
Dividing, is it the same thing as multiplication?
We're not dividing. We're not going to divide. Okay. Now, with that being said, remember, we read things rows by columns, yes? Okay. So if this is A and B, okay, I would name this C and D. Then I'm going to have Okay.
Oh no, they changed. They switched.
So I have two 2 by 2s here, yes?
Yeah.
So can I multiply these together?
No.
Well, do the middles match?
Well, yeah.
Yes. So I can multiply them. What size am I going to get?
2 by 2.
A 2 by 2. Okay. So I can multiply these because they're... Okay. When I multiply, here's how you multiply, and it just takes time. Okay. You're going to multiply this row by this column to get this segment. Okay, so it's A times E, okay, plus B times G gives me that one spot.
Okay.
To get this second spot, okay, right here, I'm going to take this row again, but I'm going to multiply it by this column. So you have A times F plus B times H, okay? Now, to get this spot, you multiply this row by this column. So I have C times E plus D times G. And then to get this spot, you multiply this row by this column. So C times F plus D times H. And I will have my answers once you add those together. So let's look at this with some actual numbers. What do you think? And today we're only going to focus on multiplying matrices because there's more in this lesson, but we're going to break it down. Okay? So, actually, this one might not have one. Let's talk about this. If I have a matrix that says 1, 4, 3, -2. I'm going to try to keep this in colors for you so that. And then I have another matrix that says 5, Okay. And I want to multiply these together. First off, let's name what size these are. What size is this one right here?
2 by 2.
2 by 2. What size is the blue one?
2 by 2.
So what size am I going to get? A 2 by 2. I'm going to end up getting a 2 by 2. Okay. So let's see what we can do. How do I figure out what that first spot is?
1.
Take this row and do what with it?
Add it to 5.
Okay, what's 1 times 5?
5.
What's 4 times 9?
-28.
What's
Wait,
4
wait,
times 9?
36.
Oh, my bad. That's not.
Okay, that's
I
that
heard you
spot.
say -7.
Now, how do I find this spot right here? You do this row times that column. What's 1 times -7? What's 4 times 6? Okay. Now, I'm going to try to find this spot right here. Take this row times this column. What's 3 times 5?
15.
-2 times 9.
-80.
Okay. Then I'm going to find this spot right here by taking this row by this column. 3 times -7
-21.
and -2 times 6. Okay, now my answer ends up being all this stuff added together. So the first spot is 5 plus 36, which is,
41.
and the next spot is -7 and 24, which is,
17.
and then I have 15 and -18, and then I have -21 and -12.
-33.
Beautiful. That's my solution when I multiply them together. Okay.
So on our homework, will we have to say what size it is? Like, will it just
Well, I always do that so that I can see if I can multiply them together first. It just helps me personally. You don't have to do it that way, but it might help you, and then you save yourself headache if they can't be multiplied together. You're like, oh, they can't do it. Okay, let's look at this. I'm going to give you 3 matrices like they did last night. Remember how they gave you like A, B, C, and then they gave you things off of it? Okay, 4, 3, -1. So matrix A is going to say 4, 3, -1, -2, 2, and 0. Okay? Matrix B is going to say -3, 0, 1, -2. And matrix C is going to say 1, 4, -3, -1. 1, 4, -3, -1. Okay. There are 3 matrices. We want, for part A, to do this. For the first problem, we want to do A times B plus C. Okay? So first, we need to set this up. Okay? A is 4, -1, 2, 3, -2, 0. Okay? We're going to multiply that by B plus C. B is -3, 0, 1, -2, plus C is 1, 4, -3, -1. Can we, first of all, what is the order of operations we need to do?
Let's see.
Okay, can we add these two together?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So let's add them and make a new 2 by 2. What is -3 plus 1? 0 plus 4. 1 plus -3. -2 plus -1. Okay, so now I have my new matrix. Can I multiply this matrix by this one? What size is this green one?
2 by 2.
No, how many?
3 by 2.
3 by 1, 2, 3 rows. How many columns?
2.
So it's a 3 by 2. What size is that black one?
A 2 by 2.
Can you multiply those together?
Yes.
Yes.
What size are you going to get?
A 2 by 2.
3
No.
by 2.
A 3 by.
Oh, 3 by 2.
So I'm going to get a 3 by 2 as my answer. Okay, so let's look at how this would look. How do I find this first spot? If I'm getting a 3 by 2, that means I'm going to have spots like this to fill. Okay? I have 3 spots going across, 2 going down. Okay. How do I get this first spot right here? What do I need to do?
4 times, 4 and 3.
I'm going to take this row. I'm going to multiply it by what?
By 2, 2.
No,
Negative
by
2,
this
negative 2.
column. Row by column. 4 times -2 is?
-8.
3 times -2 is?
-6.
Okay. Now how do I find this spot? Take the first row, multiply it by the second column. 4 times 4 is?
16.
3 times -3. How do I find this spot?
We just do the same with the second.
Yep, second row, first column. -1 times -2.
2.
-2 times positive times -2.
4.
Okay, how do I find this spot?
Second row.
Second row,
Second column.
second column. Beautiful. -1 times 4.
-4.
-2 times -3.
6.
How do I find this spot?
Third column.
Third row, first column. 2 times -2
-4.
and 0 times -2.
0.
Good, and how do I find this spot?
Third row. Second column.
Third row, second column. 2 times 4
8.
and 0 times -3.
0.
So my solution is, or my answer is, -8 and -6,
-19.
positive 16, -9,
7.
2 plus 4,
6.
-4 and positive 6.
2.
-4 and 0,
-4.
and 8 and 0. That's your solution. let's try one more. And then we'll give you some homework. Let's do this. AB plus AC. Now, remember, order matters, okay? Because if I multiply it in different orders, I'm going to get totally different answers because I'm doing a row by a column, okay? So, I'm going to multiply A by B for this first one. Then I'm going to add it to A times C. I know I can multiply A by B and A times C because we just did a 3 by 2 and a 2 by 2. So I have 4, 3, negative 1, negative 2, 2, 0. I'm going to multiply that by negative 3, 0, 1, negative 2. Then I'm going to come back and add it to A times C. So I have 4, 3, negative 1, negative 2, 2, 0 times 1, 4, negative 3, negative 1. Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, this times this for this spot. What's 4 times negative 3? Negative 12. Okay, what's 3 times 1?
3.
Okay, what is, I have to do this again, times this. 4 times 0.
0.
3 times negative 2.
Negative 6.
Okay. Second row, first column. Negative 1 times negative 3.
3.
Negative 2 times 1.
Negative 2.
Second row, second column. Negative 1 times 0.
0.
Negative 2 times negative 2.
4.
Third row, first column. 2 times negative 3.
6.
0 times 1. I love when there's zeros. It makes life easier. 2 times 0.
0.
0 times negative 2.
0.
Okay, let's change these so I don't have to take more space. Negative 12 and 3 is what together?
9.
Negative 9.
Come on, Paul, negative.
And then 0 and negative 6 is, and then 3 minus 2,
1.
and 0 plus 4,
4.
and negative 6 and 0,
Negative 6.
and 0 and 0.
0.
Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to add it to whatever we get from this one. Okay, tell me, how do I start for this spot?
First column, first
and
row.
First
First row, first column.
Okay, 4 times 1,
4. 4.
3 times negative 3.
Negative 9.
Okay, how do I do that one?
First row,
Second column.
Beautiful. So 4 times 4,
16.
16. 3 times negative 1,
Negative 3. Second row.
first column. Negative 1 times 1,
Negative 1.
negative 2 times negative 3.
6.
Okay.
First row,
Second row, second column. Negative 1 times 4,
Negative
negative 2 times negative 1.
2.
And the last row, first column, 2 times 1,
2.
0 times negative 3.
0.
And last row, last column, 2 times 4,
8.
and 0 times negative 1.
0.
Okay, let's change these. What's 4 minus 9?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. What's 16 minus 3?
13.
What's negative 1 plus 6?
5.
Negative 4 plus 2.
Negative
2 plus 0,
2.
and 8 plus 0.
8.
Beautiful. Now I can add these together. Can I add these together? That's actually the question. Why do you know I can add them together?
Those are both 3 by 2s.
Because they're both 3 by 2s. Beautiful. Negative 9 and negative 5 together is what?
That'd be negative 14.
Okay. What's negative 6 plus 13?
7.
What is 1 plus 5?
6.
4 plus negative 2.
2.
Negative 6 plus 2.
Negative
4.
4.
and 0 plus 8.
8.
So for those, that's like a lot of steps.
Yes. Yes. That's what you're gonna do on your homework today. Tomorrow we'll work with word problems with them.